I'm so excited for today's webinar with our host, Russ Yeager, all about your secret weapon to 10 times your health, income, and life. After growing up wearing the husky pants and winning an international physique transformation contest at 27 years old, today Russ is one of the top body and business coaches in the world. He is an expert at helping men and women create a life they love in all areas by first getting the body, health, and abundant energy they desire without starving themselves, doing fad diets, or having their lives revolve around working out. Russ runs 3 businesses, has 3 young children, and speaks all over the world, yet is still able to keep a visible abs 365 days a year while still enjoying foods like pizza and ice cream and helping his clients do the same. He also owns 2 private personal training studios in Atlanta, Georgia, is the author of Live Longer, Feel Better, and Look Great Naked, has spoken on Grant Corden's 10 times GrowthCon stage, and appeared on numerous fitness publications. Russ has helped tens of thousands of people transform their bodies and life, and his mission is to help 10 million. Welcome, Russ. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that so much. Great to see you guys on today. And I think you guys said you're recording this, putting it out. So I am so excited to spend time. I connected with Lars a couple of months ago. He was on my Becoming Titans podcast, and just honored that he was letting me spend some time and share some things that I've learned over the past 30 years now with you guys. So my intention today is to give you guys a recipe for having a body, a physique you're proud of, you feel confident in, having health and energy you need to do the things that you not only need to do, but you love to do, and to do it in a way where you're not killing yourselves 7 days a week. Your life doesn't revolve around working out, doesn't revolve around eating boring, bland foods, and it actually enhances your life versus taking it away. And most importantly, to hopefully inspire you guys to realize that we know that working out, eating better is going to give us better health, make us feel better, can make us look better, lose fat, all that stuff, but actually helped you guys to see that it's not for businessmen, businesswomen. You guys are all in the workforce. You're providing for your families, but to let you know that working out is not optional. Taking care of your health, it is essential, because you are the most important asset in your business. I tell that to business owners, but each and every one of you are the business owner, the breadwinner of your family. So hopefully you can make that link as I'm going to share my screen here. I want to see in the chat first, what's the hardest part? Like, we all know we should eat better, we should exercise, like health is good, right? But why are so many people more than ever out of shape, even obese? Like, what's the hardest part for you guys that are here? Go ahead and type in the chat. Is it the workouts? Is it the nutrition? Is it the accountability, or is it something else? I want to see. Finding the time. Yep. What else? Time's probably the biggest one that I hear. Yeah, right diet that works for you. We're going to talk about both of those. So at this point in my life, I'm 46 years old. As Melissa said, I run 3 businesses. I have 3 kids, 3 and under. I speak all over the world. This is me speaking at Grant Cardone's Growth Conference in front of 13,000 people last year. And I keep six-pack abs 365 days a year. And I tell people, I don't say that to brag. I say it for inspiration and motivation, because as Melissa said, I grew up the chubby kid. Like, I don't know about you guys, a lot of the experts say that things that happen in your childhood affect the direction of your life. And I can say for me, like 100%, I remember it clearly. I'm 11 years old and my dad's taking home movies. I don't know if you're, over 40 like me, you'll remember the giant VHS cameras that are as big as the room. And he says, "Russ, introduce yourself." I said, "My name's Russ. I like soccer. I like basketball. I love my dog, Rudy." Then I pause, I look down, and I say, "I'm fat." And my parents both look at each other. They don't know what to say. My mom finally breaks the silence with 7 words that literally changed the direction of my life forever. She said, "Russ, you're not fat, you're just husky." And I don't know if she was trying to make me feel better or if she was trying to light a fire But what it did was light a fire under my butt. And I decided right then and there, I was going to figure out how to, lose the fat, be one of those muscly guys. At that time, it was all about the abs. I wanted to have the abs. I used to watch wrestling. I wanted to be, one of those fit, lean, muscly guys. And I started running, and I guess I got a little healthier. My body never changed. I love to eat. I still love to eat. I'm going to be completely transparent. I have struggled with overeating, binge eating my whole life, still do. To a degree. So I'm not one of those fitness guys that, says you have to eat perfect. And in fact, I'm going to talk about why that's counterproductive to your success, trying to be quote unquote perfect. And I realized early on that cardio was not the answer to transforming your body. I got introduced to lifting weights in my late teens, early 20s, was doing pretty good, had some decent success, but went to school. I got my undergrad master's in accounting. So I'm a CPA, went into work for the big workforce, went to one of the big firms. So I'm working, long hours, late night business dinners, I'm in my 20s, I'm drinking and partying with my friends and coworkers. And then finally, at 27 years old, I said, I'm going to get this part of my life taken care of. Like I never did it. And so I did two things that were really important. I made a commitment. I made a decision, first of all, but more importantly, I made a commitment. And that's what I found in my life, guys. If you want to change anything, you have to make a commitment. Nothing changes until you decide to change. And I decided I want to make sure that I'm held accountable. We're going to talk about accountability, and I want to get the best results. So I did two things. I entered one of those, before and after 12-week contests. That's right. I did the pictures and the fake tan and all the stuff. I don't know if I've got pictures in here or not. I can't remember. But I hired a coach, and I said, I want the best. So I hired a top natural bodybuilder in the world. I did everything he asked, and in 12 weeks took my body fat percentage from 25%. So I wasn't obese. I'm 6'6", so I can hide my fat pretty good, but I was definitely not in great shape. And I went down to 5% body fat, which, if you don't know, that's basically like fitness competitor bodybuilder stage, totally shredded. Not necessary to go that far, but what I learned in the process is that there's a formula to losing body fat and gaining lean muscle. And I've been able to take that with me for the past 20 years and help a lot of people transform their bodies, health, and lives. You can see thousands, tens of thousands of people for the last 19 years, my team and myself. And what happened was people started asking me, man, they saw the changes and they said, Russ, can you help me? And I did. And what, I expected their bodies to change. I knew the formula. But what I didn't expect is people started telling me, man, I'm happier, I feel better, more energy. Of course, they were going to say that, but they started saying, I'm making more money. My business is doing better. And that's when I made that early link to your financial success and your business success, and definitely your relationship success with being healthy. Like if you don't have your health, nothing else can be there. And that's why I've got the slide here. We look at organizational assets, and you've got all these different assets. This slide's trying to point out the data for the IT department. But my point, and I say this to every business owner, every entrepreneur, and every professional in the workplace that's taking care of your family, you are your biggest asset. And think about it. If you had a billion-dollar piece of equipment that was the most important piece of equipment in your company, would you run it 24/7, redline it, never do maintenance, and hope it doesn't break down one day? Well, of course not. But that's what so many of us are doing to our bodies. There's the pictures, fake tan and all. And that's my why. So that's my wife, Emily. Why am I doing this? You heard Melissa say, I've helped tens of thousands of people. My mission is literally to help 10 million people. This is my personal mission. Get the physical, mental, and emotional health they need in order to do what they were put on earth to do and live a life that they love. And I do that because I want to make a difference. I do it for my family. Reed now is our son. He's 5 years old. We have 3-year-old twin boy and girl. So I understand about being busy. I never knew what being busy was until I had kids, but I'm going to show you guys how you can fit, an exercise program into your routine and into your life without taking away from your life. So I want to show you guys some statistics. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, and the point's not to alarm you, but it is to show that we are going in the wrong direction. And so our life expectancy has continued to go up and up. Although it's interestingly enough, 2019 was the first year it started to go down a little bit, but chronic disease is on the rise significantly. And one of the biggest reasons is physical inactivity. Literally, being overweight, being obese is number 2 related in deaths related related deaths just next to tobacco. Diabetes 40 times higher in overweight individuals. 1 in 3 adults 20 and over it's pre-diabetic. 65% of people with diabetes die from cardiovascular disease. Heart disease, #1 killer we've known for men, #1 killer for men and women. And in 2017, almost 650,000 people died from heart disease. More than 1 out of 4 deaths in the U.S. are caused from heart disease. It's a big problem. And again, it's our lifestyle. Like, there's certain things that we can't control. My dad died suddenly at 60 years old 13 years ago from a freak thing. But we can give ourselves the best chance by our lifestyle choices. Yeah, obesity trends. I mean, it's crazy, up and up and up and up. So what does this cause us? It causes sickness, loss of energy, loss of income, disrupted family time, inability to enjoy, participate in everyday activities, and higher medical costs. People will tell me like, man, your personal training program, that's expensive. That's a lot of money. And I'm like, it is a lot of money, but the option is to pay now or to pay later. And there's been research shown that people end up paying significantly more on the back end with medical costs and lost time of work and all the other things than they do if they would invest money into a fitness and/or nutrition healthy lifestyle program to prevent those things. And that doesn't even count the difference in the quality of life. So I'm going to talk about 3 main things today, three ways to get the body health energy you want in a way that's doable for anyone, no matter how busy you are. And the first thing is you have to exercise, right? I wish there was a way, a magic pill. Maybe there will be one day, but there's not. One of the biggest problems is people don't know what to do. I hear it all the time. Melissa said it. I don't know what diet's for me. Same thing goes for exercise. Like, I don't know what exercises are right for me. I don't want to get hurt. I'm embarrassed to go to the gym. I don't know if any of those sound familiar to you. So many people have gym equipment. This statistic, 36% of people with home exercise equipment use it once a week, or excuse me, don't use it at all. 64% use it 1 day a week. And then the percentage of people who are actually getting the results they want is minuscule. This is what really clicked and changed it for me. So this shows, most people, you go to the gym these days, or you look at any online workout program, it's a lot of, high intensity cardio, burning fat, slamming ropes, jumping up and down, jumping jacks. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to move and it burns calories. But the problem is it doesn't transform your body. What I learned from the top natural bodybuilders in the world, and this is why bodybuilders, they're the expert at losing body fat and gaining lean muscle, which none of us want to look like, most of us, not none of us, want to look like a big, giant, bulky bodybuilder or do that for a profession. But what do most of us want? We want to lose fat. We want to have, nice muscle tone. Maybe some of us want bigger muscles. Maybe some of us don't really want muscles, but we want nice tone. We want to feel good and we want to have good energy. And I'm telling you, strength training is the secret to that. And I'm going to prove that to you guys right now. I'm going to ask for you. I'm going to ask for a volunteer though. I'm going to come back to my Zoom here. So who put in the chat here if you have ever gone on a diet and lost weight before? Just put me. Nobody's ever gone on a diet. I don't believe that. Okay, so Melissa's gone on a diet. So we're going to use, so Melissa, have you ever done that? Have you done that more than once? Okay, Kayla, too many times. All right, I'm going to pick you, Kayla. I'm going to pick on you as my volunteer, if that's okay. So here's why most diets, 99% of diets fail, is you've got something called your base metabolic rate. And that's the number of calories that your body needs just to maintain itself. So we're going to say Kayla's base metabolic rate is, let's say, 2,000 calories for simplicity. That means Kayla can eat 2,000 calories. She's not going to gain weight. She's not going to lose weight. She can lay in bed all day and do nothing, theoretically. So what do most people do when they try to lose weight? They get all fired up and they go on a huge calorie restricted diet. So maybe she's eating 1,000 calories or 800 calories. So what's going to happen? She loses weight. Of course you do. I don't care what anybody tells you. Losing weight all comes down to being in a calorie deficit, no matter what you're eating, no matter how many times a day you're eating, no matter if you're eating carbs or not, no matter if you're intermittent fasting. So she's going to lose weight. The problem is the type of weight she's going to lose. She's going to lose 3 times the weight. So number one, she's going to lose water probably pretty quickly, especially if she's doing a low carbohydrate diet. And the reason is most people don't realize that every gram of carbohydrates holds 2 to 3 grams of water. So you get rid of the carbs, water flushes out. Hey, I've lost 7 pounds or 10 pounds in a week. Nothing's changed with your body. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not good either. You're going to lose some fat, so that's a good thing. Thumbs up. Number 3, you're going to lose muscle. Inevitably, especially if your calorie deficit's too low and if you're not doing strength training, you will always lose muscle. And that's a huge, huge problem because muscle is what drives that base metabolic rate. So let's say we're using, who are we using? Kayla. Yeah, we're using Kayla. Kayla's all excited. She lost 30 pounds, but now she's sick and tired of this diet. She's hungry, she's grumpy, and she decides, I'm done. I got to start eating normal again. Well, now, because Kayla lost muscle, her base metabolic rate, guess what? It's not 2,000 anymore. It's only 1,800 or 1,700. So she starts eating the same number of calories she was eating before, and she actually gains all the weight back and starts to gain more back. And then what happens? She says, I got to get going again, goes on another diet. And so what most people are doing is driving their base metabolic rate lower and lower and lower. She actually would have been better off if she never did the diet in the first place. So the flip side works too. And this is the true power of strength training. I hope you guys get this. Every pound of lean muscle that you build burns an extra 10 to 40 calories per day. And so, for example, my male clients that work with me through my Body Transformation University or through my personal training average 10 to 20 pounds of muscle built in the first year. Female clients average 5 to 10 pounds. And don't let that scare you. It may sound like a lot. It's not spread out, over your body. 5 to 10 pounds is not going to make you big and bulky. It'll make you nice tone. Trust me. That's one of the biggest things I hear is ladies are scared if they lift weights, they're going to get big and bulky. It's very difficult. It's difficult for me. I'm a man who's been trying for 20 years and I built a little bit of muscle. Females have a fraction of the testosterone as men. So if you see a woman that's, really big and bulky, has a lot of muscle, she's either worked at it really, really hard, has the genetics for that, and or is using some kind of performance enhancing drugs. So you're not going to get big, but what you are going to do, let's say you put on 10 pounds of muscle, Kayla, now you're burning an extra 200 to 400 calories a day, every day. You've literally turned yourself into a fat burning machine. So that is the true power of strength training. Oh, it took me from the beginning. That's okay. I am a body transformation expert. I don't claim to be a PowerPoint expert. Melissa texted me and said, you guys can even see my notes or something. So don't worry about that. As long as you guys can see my slides and you can hear me, I'm happy to go. So, what do people turn to? Boot camps, large group workouts. They can be great if you know what you're doing. I would encourage you guys, if you don't, invest the time, invest the money to find someone that can work with you one-on-one, even if it's just for a short period of time, so they can teach you the proper way, do it safe, especially if you're over 40. A lot of us, most of us, as we get over 40, have some kind of imbalances. Maybe it's an old sports injury. Maybe it's just the way we've walked. Maybe it's genetics, where you've got something with your shoulder, knee, hip. And it's important that you not only do exercises to burn body fat, gain muscle, look good, but also do the right kind of exercises where you're not hurting problems. And you can actually do, like me and my team will do corrective exercises with clients where you can fix muscular imbalances and you can help alleviate and actually get rid of a lot of that pain. Benefits of working out, we know it, right? Makes you look good, makes you feel good. Endorphins are real. Endorphins are real. It's not just the physical, it's the mental and emotional health that we now need more than ever in today's society. You don't have to kill yourself 7 days a week. I work out 3 to 4 times a week. Most people need to strength train about 3 to 4 times a week. Then you throw in some cardio if you want to. I'm going to talk about why cardio is optional. And you maybe do some mobility stretching. So, you're working out 3 to 5 times a week, maybe 6 times a week, 45 minutes an hour, and you can get great results. But consistency is the key. I always say, When somebody starts working with me, I ask them, how many times are you able and willing to work out, like really consistently? And I always say 3 times a week consistent beat 6 times a week out of the gate, and then you burn out and realize that you can't do it. Melissa said it, time, the biggest excuse. You got to stop using time as an excuse. You know, this is in the middle here is Grant Cardone. He's was on Undercover Billionaire. I'm doing some work with him. So, I mean, he's one of the busiest guys I've ever met. He makes health and fitness a priority. The last 5 years, he's literally gotten in the best shape of his life. He's 63 years old. Ed Milet runs multi-million dollar businesses. He's obviously a huge, you know, jacked guy, very, very fit, makes time for it. And then Lewis Howes is he runs one of the biggest, most popular podcasts in the world, and he credits health and fitness. And if you look at some of the most successful, busiest people, Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, they all talk about how one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, is putting their health and fitness. Again, you are your biggest asset. One more thing on working out is it's important when you start off, the good news, like you can pretty much do whatever you want. As long as you're not hurting yourself, you're going to get results when you're lifting weights. But in order to continue to progress, you need to have a progression cycle. So this is talking about, you know, mesocycles, microcycles. I'm not going to get into that detail today, but the important thing to know is you need to switch it up. And one of the easiest ways to switch up your routine is to change your repetition. So if you're doing, you know, 8 to 12 repetitions per set, don't do that forever. Go higher reps, right? 15 to 20 reps for a period of time. And then for a period of time, do lower reps, 4 to 6 reps. That's right. Most people never want to lift that heavy as long as your form is good. Going in that low rep range is really great for building core strength and building a lot of lean muscle. And remember, lean muscle is good because it burns lots of calories. Appearance, whether it's fair or not, it affects how people judge us. You know, first impressions are made in 30 seconds. I actually believe it's made quicker than that. And, you know, 55% is how you look, you know, when you walk in the door, how you move, your body language. And I can tell you, like I always tell people, if you're serious, you're 12 to 16 weeks away from a body transformation. And when you get serious and you do things the right way, you can lose a tremendous amount of body fat, you know, and completely change the way you look. You're about 6 months away, 6 to 8 months away from a lifestyle change, because it's not just the physical, it becomes the mental, you know, kind of like brushing your teeth is a habit now, hopefully for all of us. But, you know, it becomes to where it's almost natural. Not that you just don't have to work at it, but about that 6 to 8 months. But the cool thing is you're one workout away from walking into the office or walking into the Zoom meeting a different man or woman, where you're more confident, more energetic. People are going to respond to you together, and that respond to you different, and that directly is going to impact how much money that you're making at work. And there's even been studies. There's one that shows self-confidence results in earnings hundreds of thousands of dollars more over a lifetime, and that's for an average earner. You know, depending on what you're making. If you're making more money, then you may make even more than that. I like to use, you know, inspiration. These are with some of my client success stories. This is Paul. He lives in the UK. He's works with me through my Body Transformation. It's an online coaching program. He lost 80 pounds working with me in his first year, and now he's getting bigger. He's eating 4,000 calories a day. This goes back to gaining lean muscle. He's eating about 4,000 calories a day. He can't eat enough. He's at 10% body fat, so really lean, gaining lean muscle. We're working on new goals, but the other cool thing is losing that weight gave him the confidence to actually start a new business, a car detailing business, and he started a personal training business because of that mental confidence and energy that he had. So the two reasons that you guys will, the only two reasons anybody won't get in shape is they don't know what to do or they don't do it. The don't do it part, I can't do anything about it unless you hire me as a coach. But I know I'm going through a lot of information. I'm going through fast. I know I talk fast. So I want to make sure you guys at least know what to do. So I want to give you a copy of my book, Live Longer, Feel Better, Look Great Naked. I actually just updated it as an ebook, and I put in I wrote the book in 2014. And in the last 7 years, I'm always continuing learning. I've changed a lot. So I updated it literally just a couple months ago. So you guys can go to freenakedbook.com and get a copy. I will say, be careful typing that in, or you might get something that you don't want. So actually, I'll just put that link in the chat here, and then that'll make it easier so we don't get anybody getting distracted or getting in trouble from going to the wrong site. There we go. Boom. I see a question. I'm going to go ahead and answer that question. I'm going to save time, hopefully, for questions at the end. Does it matter how long your workout is or how consistently you work out? Caleb, that's a great question. It matters. The consistency is the most important thing. I wish I had a better answer. I wish I had a more fun, sexy answer. Like I said earlier, 3 times a week consistently. I mean, you can even get results with twice a week when you're consistent. I like 3. I push you to do at least 3, but twice a week consistent is better than inconsistent. The length, doesn't matter that much. I mean, again, I work out about 45 minutes to an hour. If you're crunched for time, you can get a 20-minute workout. And if you're consistent and your intensity is high enough. So to answer your question, Kayla, the shorter the workout is, the more you're going to need to raise your intensity so that you can get more work done in that time frame. That's an awesome question. All right, continue from current slide. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. Nutrition. Yes, that is a picture of me before I won a pizza eating contest. This is not super recent, but more recent than I'm proud to admit. I do not do stuff like that anymore. That's big pie in the sky. I don't know if you guys remember Man versus Food. This was one of the contests him and his partner failed on. We won it, and it was probably the sickest I've ever felt. So I want to emphasize, like, I am not a guy who loves eating, clean foods, who never wants to eat pizza, never drinks alcohol, that kind of stuff. That's not me. I'm transparent about it. There's so many people that talk about clean eating, fitness people. And I know, and here's the reality is most people never eat. Is it better to eat 100% clean all the time? Absolutely. And what does clean mean anyway, right? I could go into a whole thing on that, but it's not realistic. And so I'm going to talk about today is what I do, what's worked for me, and what's worked for over 10,000 clients that I've worked with. So what do most people do? They go to fad diets. Again, low carb keto, super popular now. It used to be low fat, liquid diets, grapefruit diets. Back in the 1940s, they were literally, this is real, 400-pound leg roller, massage away the extra pounds, $1,000 per time to use. In the 50s and 60s, soda and cigarettes, were advertised as weight loss, just crazy stuff. And here's my biggest problem with, let's use keto or low carb diet, because that's so popular now. Not that it doesn't work. It will work. You will lose weight, and you may have lost weight on it using it before. But the problem is, here's the question you got to ask yourself, is how realistic is it for you to never eat a carbohydrate again? If the answer is yes, then it may work for you. But if the answer is no, like it is for me, then that's not something that's going to be sustainable. And that's the biggest problem is a lot of people get in shape, they get motivated, and then they lose it. One of the things I'm most proud of is that for the past 20 years, I've stayed in shape. And so here's what happened. After I won that contest, I started training people like I was taught to train from the natural bodybuilders. I got them eating their chicken and broccoli, alternating with a protein shake every 2 hours, keep your metabolism revved up, right? All that good stuff, eating 6 meals a day, 8 meals a day, whatever. And it worked. But these were real people with real jobs with kids. It wasn't sustainable, and they fell off. And then when I started getting really serious with my business, and especially when I had kids about 6 years ago, I said, I got to figure out something else, because, for me now, it's most important. When I was younger, it was all about having the abs. For now, I want to live a long time. I want to be healthy. I want to live to 100 years old. I want to have the energy for my kids and my family and my business and my clients. Can I do all that? Here's the question I ask myself. Can I do all that? Can I still have the abs? And can I actually eat foods that I enjoy without feeling guilty? And the answer to that question is yes, if you know what you're doing. 63.3 billion diet industry. They promote weight loss, gimmicks, pills. And again, anything that's quick, gimmicky is probably not going to work. Biggest Loser contestants, they lose tons and tons of weight. One of my newest trainers came in second place on the Biggest Loser. He lost 150 pounds, and his name's Micah. And the thing I'm proudest of Micah, he's kept it off for several years. And we talk about it. He still struggles. Struggles with it. But guess what? He hasn't given up, and he's using practical, consistent strategies, the kind of stuff I'm talking about, to get in shape. So I'm going to give you my formula, and I'm going to make it real simple. But first, I want you guys to understand something. The difference, because there's a difference between, a lot of people say you just got to eat healthier. And hopefully this is going to help you out, Melissa. So eat healthy to get in shape. Well, eating healthy and eating to look good are not the same thing. And here's proof. So you may know somebody, they eat, all organic, no dairy, no gluten, no carbs, no processed food, no alcohol, no nothing, but they're still overweight or their body doesn't look good, right? And then, eating to look good all comes down to getting your calories right and your macronutrients right. So what does that mean? Calories is the energy coming in. Macronutrients is just a fancy word for the different types of calories. You've got protein, carbohydrates, and fat. And so in order to lose, again, we talked about it earlier, in order to lose body fat, you've got to be in a calorie deficit. And then that's the most important thing. And then the second most important thing is getting enough protein. And the reason is protein is important is protein is the only macronutrient that builds lean muscle. And why is that important? We talked about it earlier, because when you build lean muscle, that's what drives your metabolism. That's what increases your fat burning capabilities all day, every day, 24/7. So I simplified it. If you can get your calories right, get your protein right, then you're going to lose body fat consistently, and you're going to keep that lean muscle. Eating, and then the crazy thing, guys, if you know how to do that, you can do that eating all junk food. And I have to be careful of this because I got the fat chubby kid inside of me that can do it. You can literally look like a fitness competitor eating junk food. Obviously no good, because that's going to not be good for your insides or your health. And so the formula I figured out that works great for me is eat about 80% of the time, maybe 75%. But if you guys have heard of the 80-20 rule, here's my version. 80% of the time, eat the healthy foods, right? Your fruits, your vegetables, your organic meats, your healthy nuts, all those kinds of things that we know are healthy, that are quote unquote clean. 20% of the time, eat whatever the heck you want. That's right, without guilt, because when we label foods good and bad, it messes with our mindset. It gives us shame. It gives us guilt. No way to live. And it's unrealistic. Again, most of us will try to eat perfect for a period of time, and then we give in and we gorge. I used to do that all the time. I'd do my cheat day, where it was embarrassing how much I would eat. But if you do it this way, 80% healthy, 20% whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be 20% on one day. It can be 20%. I have ice cream, for example. I have some kind of dessert every single night. I have a small quantity. That's the other thing. Everybody talks about the what you should eat, the when you should eat, right? Don't eat carbs, don't eat after 6, intermittent fasting, this and that. Nobody talks about the how much, and the how much is the biggest problem. So if you can 80% of the time eat healthy, 20% eat whatever the heck you want without guilt, but 100% of the time, here's the key, or as close to 100 as you can, get your right number of calories and your right number of protein. That's a way you can have a great body, great health, great energy, and enjoy the foods that you like, and it's sustainable for the rest of your life. So quickly, how do you figure out what the calories is? It's half art, half science. I'm going to give you guys a quick starting point. It's not perfect, but if you're a man, you take your weight times 15. If you're a woman, you take your body weight times 12. That gives you your theoretical base maintenance calories. That's different than your base metabolic rate that just keeps you alive. Base maintenance calories includes things like, walking around, working, that kind of stuff. So if you take that, let's say, you're a man that's 200 pounds, you take 200 times 15, that's 3,000 calories. And so what I like to do is get my clients in a moderate calorie deficit, about 400 to 600 calories. So you take off, say, 500 calories, you go down to 2,500 calories. That's enough deficit where you're going to lose body fat consistently. You can still build lean muscle, but you're not going to be tired. That's the other problem with getting a huge calorie deficit, is you can be tired, you can be, cranky, you can risk injury because you're not getting the nutrients you need, and then doing that consistently over time. So that you can use that number as a starting point, but everybody's different. If you're over 30% body fat, then you're going to want to use your target weight versus your current weight. Because if somebody's 400 pounds, for example, and you take that times 15, number's going to be way too high. So here's the key, guys. Use it as a starting point, and then track what you're eating. And I know it's a pain, but you need to track what you're putting in your body. We dramatically underestimate how many calories we're eating every day. And so if you can track it, then one of 3 things is going to happen. Either you're going to be losing fat, your clothes are fitting better, your energy's good, you're feeling good, you're strong, perfect. You picked the right number, keep going. Number 2 is nothing's going to happen, right? You're not losing any body fat. You're staying the same or even going up. Guess what? Your number was too high. Come down by a couple of hundred calories and then see what happens. Or number three, you're going to be dropping weight really, really quickly, 5+ pounds a week, and you're going to be maybe tired. Your number's too low. Bring it up a couple of hundred calories. But if you can do that, you can do that consistently. That's something that I found is totally sustainable. And again, eating healthy all the time is the best. Eating no junk food. A lot of people say, Russ, you tell me to eat junk food. No, but how, to me, it's not realistic to never enjoy some of the delicious but not so healthy foods. I know so many fitness people that portray that they always eat perfect. They're lying, guys. Like, they don't. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I know 3 guys that say that they never eat anything but clean food. One of them I know is lying. One I'm not sure about, and one really doesn't eat anything except clean organic food. He's probably going to live longer than all of us. But for the rest of us, this is a plan that works. Here's a hack for the 20% fun foods, because here's the problem with the 20%. Here's where you can get in trouble, is things that taste really good that aren't really good for us. They can add up in calories extremely quickly. So my wife and I, one of our favorite things to do is go out for Mexican, right? So you can have a couple of margaritas, you have chips and salsa, you throw in the guacamole and the cheese dip, you're at 1,000, 1,500. If you can eat like me, especially 2,000 calories, and you haven't even gotten to dinner yet. So calories add up extremely quick. So what I like to do for that 20% is find things that taste pretty good or really good, that are healthy-ish, but are significantly lower in calories. So these are just a couple of them that I love. Stacked. If you like pancakes like me, these are stacked. There's different brands. I like these the best because they're organic, they're gluten-free, which may or may not matter to you. They have you can't see, they have 25 grams of protein, 230 calories. So I can literally make 2 servings of this. I get a huge plate of pancakes. I use some sugar-free syrup, and for 500 calories, I'm getting a ton of enjoyment. I'm getting 50 grams of protein, and it's it tastes pretty much as good as the real thing. One of my other favorites, these Quest chips. I found these this year. They taste almost like real potato chips. There's about 20 grams of protein and 140 calories. Again, is that a health food? No. But if you're going to have, one thing I'll do sometimes is I literally have done this, and my wife makes fun of me, but I'll bring a couple of bags of these Quest chips to the Mexican restaurant, and instead of eating the chips and guac and everything there, I'll eat that. So that's 280 calories, 40 grams of protein, compared to potentially thousands of calories. So it's, over 1,000, maybe multiple thousands of calories saved. Is the enjoyment as much as eating the real thing? No, but it's pretty freaky. It's a pretty good substitution. So if you can find things in that 20% that are lower calorie differentiators, that makes a difference. Another thing that's I like to do, if you guys have heard water is important, water is not really important. No, I'm kidding. Water is super important. Our bodies are up to 70% water. So it's important to get, approximately half your body weight in ounces is about how much water you want to get every day. And so that can be difficult. So one thing I love, sparkling water. I'm going to go through, I've got a little collection here. Topo Chico. This is my favorite. It's in a bottle. You can get it at most grocery stores. It's literally, like, for me, it's a game every week, is finding sparkling water. And you can drink as much sparkling water as you want. It's literally just water, as long as it doesn't have extra things in it, like calories. Trader Joe's, raspberry lime, literally looking for different kinds. Here's one that's a sparkling ice. Now this one does have, so you want to look at the ingredients. Most sparkling water is going to have, should just say water in it, carbonated water, natural flavors. That's it. This one's got some vitamins and minerals. It's got a few preservatives. So this is, I would say this is in the less healthy category, but it tastes amazing. It's 5 calories. So much better than, drinking a sugary drink, or even orange juice or apple juice, or a Coke. This one, can't believe the fitness guy's showing you, oh my God, Coke Zero, right? And again, not a health food. I'm not saying that you should drink this every day, but if you like the taste of Coke like I do, this tastes almost as good, and is 0 calories. So it makes, again, if you drink a couple of those, you're out on the weekend, you're having, a pizza or whatever, the difference can be hundreds and hundreds of calories. So little hack there. Another success story. A lot of people ask me, alcohol. Can I drink alcohol when I'm trying to be healthy? I'll give you the best answer. Best answer is, if you're trying to make a body transformation, you shouldn't drink it. And the reason is that alcohol is empty calories. there's really no benefit to it. Yes, there's resveratrol and antioxidants in red wine, but you can get that from other foods. But hey, I'm not against drinking. I told you I like margaritas. I love red wine. So the answer is, if you're the second best answer, first best answer, abstain until you get the body, health and energy that you want. Second best answer is, if you're going to drink, then substitute those calories for your carbohydrate calories. So if you're going to have, let's say 3 drinks, 3 glasses of wine, that's going to be about 400 calories or so. Then you would just take away 400 carbohydrate calories, and that's going to be the way to least damage it. Chris is a client who, came to me. He came because his doctor told him he had early signs of heart disease at 45 years old. That scared him. He's lost over 50 pounds, completely transformed his life, but he likes to enjoy drinks. So we had to figure out this plan for him, and there's his success there. Mindset and accountability. I know we're kind of running out of time, so I'm going to go through this quickly, but your mindset affects everything. I'm just going to say it there. Like, the way you think, I have a mentor teach me, what you think about is what you talk about. What you talk about is what you do. And this is the reason, like, again, on The Biggest Loser, one of the main reasons so many of those contestants lose the weight and gain it back is they don't have the accountability, but also they haven't changed that mindset. They believe they're a fat person still inside their head and inside their heart. And until they change that, they're always going to struggle. And there's lots, I could go into detail on the ways that, change your mindset, incantations and affirmations and, psychology and all that stuff. And all that's great. But the best way to change your mindset is to follow through on the commitments you make to yourself. So if you say, I'm starting this exercise program, I'm working out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm eating this many calories, I'm allowing myself, this 20% food, 20%, not so healthy food, 80% healthy food, I'm hitting my calories. Every time you follow through on what you're supposed to do, you tell your subconscious mind, I am a fit, healthy person who does these things. So the fastest, one of my favorite sayings is, don't wait to get motivated to move to get motivated. That's a secret power. Like, your body, a lot of us are waiting to feel like doing something or feeling like exercise, feeling get motivated. You might be waiting forever, but the flip side works. You just force yourself to move your body, and then your mind will follow. Accountability is huge. There's been lots of studies on this, but at Virginia Polytech University study did a simple walking program, 2 groups every week. Each person in the group, Group 1 got a phone call. Hey, did you walk this week? Literally that simple. The other group got no calls. Look at the results, guys. At the end of 6 months, 45% of people who received the phone calls were still walking. So once a week call. Not an amazing percentage, less than half. But look at the people who didn't get a call. 2%. 2%. So the accountability, increased the likelihood of continuing the exercise program by 2,200%. So you need to have accountability, and it can't be accountability to somebody that, is going to let you off the hook, or a friend. It needs to be someone that will hold your feet to the fire. Like, when we're working with clients, we're nice, we're friendly, we're happy, but, our clients are paying us for a reason, to help them get results. And if we don't do that, then we failed, and they failed. And so having that accountability, man, if you're serious about it, put it out, put that public accountability out. Stress, I'm going to skip, because to respect the time today, I'm going to give you guys my contact info. If you have any other questions, I know I'm burning through a ton of information. That's why I gave you guys the contact for the book, for the free book. So you can go back, look at all this stuff. I've literally put my life work into the book. So, most people are struggling, especially in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, but there is 1% who's thriving, dominating life. And so the bottom line, there are solutions for businessmen, men and women who want to secure their business retirement and live a high quality of life, and here's the summary, consistently follow the correct exercise program for you. Again, especially if you're over 40 or you have any injuries or contraindications, 3 to 4 times a week. You don't have to work out 7 days a week. Eat properly to achieve your goals, and enjoy food and life. We talked about that. Correct the muscular imbalances to prevent, reduce chronic pain. And, if you can't do all these things on your own, work with a professional. And so, I do these talks, not just to provide information. Like I said, if I provide you some information, maybe some entertainment, like, that's okay. But my purpose on earth is to transform 10 million lives. So my real purpose is to inspire you into action. And if you're already, doing pretty good, then to take it to that next level of what you really want in life. If you've been struggling and you've tried, you feel like you failed, in the past, then I want to inspire you. Hey, don't give up. You can do this, but it's your choice. And if you do decide to work with a, fitness professional, you want to make sure that somebody's qualified. So do your research, and I could go through this in detail. It's, it's an investment, to work with a fitness professional, work with a coach. So you want to make sure they know what they're doing. Ask them about their success stories. Ask them about the results, and you want to jive with the person too. Again, they're not necessarily going to be your best friend, but you want to make sure that it's somebody that you connect with. And here's what you should really expect: somebody that's going to motivate you, generally interested in your success, has a track record of proven success, coach that sets appointments and goals, has a system of accountability, right? A true system, not just using you as a guinea pig based off of, whatever they saw on the internet. Offers a scientific-based, multi-expert developed comprehensive program consisting of nutrition, strength training, cardio. When I have them in that order for a reason: nutrition, I consider number one, strength training, a close number two. A lot of people say, a lot of fitness experts say it's 80% nutrition. You ever heard that before? I disagree with that. I think it's 50-50 with the nutrition and the strength training for the reasons we talked about. I just think nutrition is the hardest part. Cardio, nothing wrong with it, but it's the least important part. And somebody who walks the walk, don't go to the dentist with rotten teeth. Few more success stories to motivate you guys. This is Kathy. She turned 67 yesterday, and she has struggled with weight her whole life. A lot of people ask, Russ, do you work with any women? Because I know I got a lot of male success stories. I do work with ladies as well. And so this is Kathy with a couple of my coaches. I need to update these pictures. She made a decision, and she's tried and failed so many times. She made a decision, and more importantly, a commitment at the beginning of this year, actually the end of last year, 2020. COVID is what scared her. We've got a disease now. Like, we know that being healthy and fit helps prevent heart disease and certain types of cancer and all that kind of stuff. Now we've got a disease that literally, being obese is the biggest risk factor that can literally kill you. So, this scared her, and she made a commitment, and I knew that she was ready. I could tell. So she's lost over 70 pounds. We need to update these pictures. And the best thing is that she's a totally different person. She was kind of complaining about her birthday. I'm like, Kathy, you're getting younger every year. It doesn't matter. Jason, who works with me. So Kathy's a personal training client. Jason works with me. He lives over in the UK. He works through my Body Transformation University program. He lost 7 pounds. That was in his first 6 weeks. You can see here, he lost, I think, close to 50 pounds, completely transformed his body. But the biggest thing, and I hear this all the time, again, it's not just how you look, but achy knees, achy hips. When you're carrying excess weight, it hurts. So he says, first time in his life, his knees aren't bothering him. Blew him away at the 25-year reunion. And then this is my favorite part: is it's rubbing off on his girls. Richard works with me through my Body Transformation University. He lives in the UK. I mean, you can see he went from dad bod to shredded. He's got the towel pictures. He told me I could use those. Kind of funny. And then this last one, this one hits home to me for a couple of reasons. Is Stephen, he has the same birthday, or December 12th is my birthday, and he talks about the hip surgery. And so a lot of people see me today and they think, you're this healthy, fit guy. It's been easy for you. But I can tell you this: I've been through a lot. I told you I went through my dad dying, the hardest thing I've ever been through. But just 7 years ago, 5 years ago now, I went through total hip replacement. I was bone on bone arthritis at 30 years old, went through just every natural thing I could do, and just pain on pain on pain. Finally decided to have a hip replacement. I talked to people, said it'd be the easiest thing you've ever done. Hips are, knees are hard, hips are easy. And I had the surgery, everything seemed to go well. 7 days after surgery, I'm making protein pancakes, no joke, can't make that up. Get in the wrong position to clean up some, I dropped on the floor, hip dislocated, and which is less than 1% chance of happening. I got in the wrong position. Not only the worst physical pain I've ever had in my life, I was in a dark place. This is just, and I work on my mindset, motivation. A lot of people say, Russ, you're the most positive person I've ever met. I went to dark places 5 years ago. I remember sitting on the couch at home. I was scared to move, terrified to move for months and months. My wife literally had to move my legs up and out of the bed as a grown man. And I remember sitting on the couch, I ate pizza 13 days in a row, feeling sorry for myself. And then finally, I quit crying, made up my mind. I got back to the gym. So within 5 weeks of having the surgery, I was back in the gym, and I had to I had to really adjust the way I train. And it took a long time. I don't know if the dislocation would had to do with it. My left hip is not perfect. That's the one I had surgery on, but it's pretty close now. It feels as good as it has. I'm working on doing one-legged squats with it. But it took a long time and a lot of persistence. My right hip is bone-on-bone arthritis. So I'm dealing with that right now. But I want you to know, like, I've been through it. Everybody has their challenges, but and we can't control a lot of things. Again, my dad died suddenly at 60 years old, but I know one thing, no matter what life throws at me, like the one thing that has been able to get me through it physically, mentally, and emotionally is having that base of fitness. And that's what I want for you. And I want you to know, like, no matter how many times you failed, no matter if you think it's too late, you think you're too old, you think you have bad genetics, you think it's just impossible for you, it seems impossible, like, I promise, like, don't give up. Take it from the former chubby kid. Take it from the former chubby kid who still loves to eat and struggles with overeating sometimes, that you can have the body, health, energy you want if you get the right plan for you. You make a commitment and you never give up. So thank you guys so much. I'm here for questions for whatever time we have left. I'm going to see if, okay, I've got a few questions here. I'm just going to go in the chat here. So I'll work backwards. How often should a person go up in weights, in strength exercises, HIIT workouts? Any recommendations for diet when trying to tone, build muscle? I'm going to start with the second one first. When you're trying to tone, build muscle, again, you want to get the right amount of calories. So I'm going to assume if your primary goal is to lose body fat, which is most people, then you want to be in that 400 to 600 calorie deficit. Again, you don't want to go, a lot of people make that too big because they want to lose it quickly. If you want to push it a little more, you can, but I really urge you not to go too much more than 600 calories because you're risking, again, potentially getting hurt, getting burnt out, getting hungry, and then getting enough protein. So if you're like a lean person, right? A lot of people would love to have that problem, but I have people that they just can't gain weight. And it's just as frustrating for somebody that's super skinny as it is for somebody who's overweight. Then you're going to need to be in a calorie surplus. But again, you don't just want to gorge yourself on a bunch of calories. You want to do it strategically. You want to eat about 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance. And then again, evaluate your results. And the most important thing is to get protein. I don't think I mentioned how do you figure out protein. You want to take your body weight time, approximately body weight times 0.8 for men and body weight times 0.6 for women. That's approximate your number. And I can tell you this, like if you're not, most people are eating nowhere near enough protein to build lean muscle and tone. And that is so important. And if you're not intentional about it, you're not eating enough. Like carbs and fat are and everything, that's easy, but protein, you have to be intentional. In terms of how fast you increase, what's the second part of the question? I think you said how to make sure I do you answer your question properly. Oh, where'd it go? Oh yeah. How often should you go up in the weights and strength hits? So again, yeah, overload is one of the most important principles in muscles. I remember one of my early coaches, he said, Russ, when you're doing 10 reps of a workout, for bicep curls, which one builds the most muscle? And I said, well, 10, because it's the last one, it's the hardest. He said, wrong, it's 12. And his point was like, building muscle is not a natural thing that your body wants to do. Like you have to create a stress big enough where that muscle is going to come back. You're tearing down your muscle fibers and it's going to grow back bigger and stronger so it can take on that stress. So you need to continually increase that stress. One way to do it is increasing the overload by increasing the weights. I like to every single week challenge myself, either increase the weight and or the number of reps I do for the same exercise. Now, at some point you're going to plateau on that, which is why it's important to switch up the exercises, the order of the exercises, and the repetition range. But yes, it's definitely important to be switching it up. Stacy, after realizing I was eating under 1,000 calories a day, recently started eating within my macros where I've been successful, but I don't know how to update my macros. That's a great point, Stacy. It's a little outside. If you want to email me, I'm gonna put my email in here so you guys can ask questions. And I answer this. I do have a team, but I'll see all of these emails. I look at them and then send them out to my team. If it's something I'm not going to handle, but for you guys, just put green rope in the subject line. I'll make sure I answer you personally. And so it's that's something a little outside of I'd have to help you figure it out. But the answer, you brought up a great point, is once you figure out your macros, your calories, you get to a certain level. But now let's say you've gained 10 pounds of muscle and lost 20 pounds of fat, you have to readjust those calories and macros, right? Because you've got a different body composition. The other thing that happens is over time, it's natural for your body to hit plateaus. And so one thing, especially if you're in a calorie deficit for a long time, even if it's only a 400 calorie deficit, like that's the best way to prevent burnout and getting tired and losing muscle. But eventually, if you're always in a deficit, month after month after month, you're going to lower your hormone levels, your fat-burning hormones, your metabolism, excuse me. And so what I'll do with clients, sounds counterintuitive, I can tell when they're getting to that plateau point, is I'll actually increase their calories back to maintenance or a little bit above for a couple of weeks. And then that upregulates your fat-burning hormones, gives your body a break, gives your neuromuscular system a break, and then we can go back down again, and then you start moving again. So that would be something in terms of the specifics, but you probably need to upgrade those. So Stacy, it may be, again, I'm guessing, but if you've been in a deficit for a long time and you've kind of hit a plateau, maybe increasing your calories for a few weeks would help out. From Atlanta, I love it. I love it. Come see me at one of my studios. I'll give you an awesome workout. Intentional with protein. Hear you on the overload. Need to create more stress in the workouts. Oh, absolutely, Alexis. You are so welcome. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Will just doing cardio help you lose weight? It will. But like I talked about in the beginning, the problem is just doing cardio. You're going to lose probably, again, water weight quickly, especially if you're doing low carb. You'll lose some fat. Good thing. You'll lose muscle. Again, as we age, after we get over about 30 years old, you naturally lose muscle mass every single year. That's why it gets harder and harder and harder to stay fit and not get fat, because muscle mass is what burns the fat. And so in cardio, again, you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to increase that muscle loss. And so you're going to you'll lose weight, but unless you continue to drop your calories lower and lower and lower as your metabolism goes lower, you're going to always gain that weight back. And that's the problem with doing only cardio. Like, I did an experiment one time, and I'm not an anti-cardio. Cardio is good for your heart. It's good exercise. It's good for your mental, and your emotional health. But for body transformation, weights and nutrition. I'm telling you, I did an experiment on myself. I used myself as a guinea pig. For 6 months, I did zero cardio and just did weights, focused on my nutrition. And I was able to lose fat, gain strength. I felt good, all that kind of stuff. As more people are working remote and being home all day with a full kitchen at arm's length, do you have tips on combating aimless fridge raiding? Don't have it in the fridge. That's my best advice. I have strong willpower and discipline, and I have kids now. So we have, although as I'm saying this is a bad excuse, right? The parents are the ones who should dictate what's in the house, but they have some kid foods, and I'm disciplined enough not to eat it, or to keep that in my 20%, right? And count the calories. But the best thing is if you're going to eat it, don't have it in the house. For that 20% of the fun foods, go out and get it, make yourself go out and get it. Plus you're going to, I'm very, with eating, again, so many people make it. And this is one of the things we've done bad as a fitness industry, is you're eating good or eating bad. And trainers even shame people. And how did you eat? You ate a salad. Oh, that's good. Well, that could have been a 2,000 calorie salad with, tons of dressing and bacon and ranch. I ate a cheeseburger. Oh, that's bad. And that's just, it's not the way it should be. It creates shame. It messes up your relationship with food. I've been through all of that. I've seen so many clients that struggle with that. But my biggest thing with eating is being intentional. Like, if you're going to eat some fun foods, let's say you're going to give yourself 500 calories of fun food. Like, to me, I'm not going to waste that on, I don't know, some Cheez-Its and a Coke. I'm going to eat a friggin' really good piece of cheesecake, from a nice restaurant. But that's just me. So be intentional. That's the main thing. Does it matter how long the workouts are? We answered that. Consistency is the most important. And I know we're running out of time. How long does it take? LOL, killed food. Okay. How long does it take, Michael, thank you for the question. How long does it take to transition fat to muscle with moderate weight and cardio work? So that's a good question. So when a lot of people think you turn fat into muscle, so it doesn't turn into muscle. But what I know you're talking about is body recomposition, right? And that's what most of us want. People talk about losing weight, but really recomposition is losing fat and gaining lean muscle. So kind of like I said, it depends on the person, depends on genetics, depends on your program, depends on how consistent you are, how intense you are. But I can tell you, I mean, if you're on a program, you're really dedicated to it, you're consistent as heck, in 12 to 16 weeks, like you can lose a dramatic amount of fat, gain significant muscle. Like I said, my average male client, gains 10 to 20 pounds of muscle in their first year. I mean, I've had clients lose as much as 50, 60, 70 pounds of fat in a year. And then female clients are averaging 5 to 10 pounds of muscle built and, losing, as much as, I mean, Kathy's going to lose 100 pounds in a year, and she's being, pretty aggressive. We always go back and forth. She's like always pushing the limits of how aggressive, how low her calories is, how aggressive she wants to be in the fat loss. But I know she's on a mission. And if somebody does want to be really aggressive, have their calories low, then that's when I'm like, you've got to do the strength training. And she's strength training 4 times a week and then does mobility stretching with us twice a week. So getting that strength training and then getting enough protein are the two most important things. So you can see results. I mean, that's the cool thing. I mean, you can do nothing for 30 years. And then within, 4 to 6 weeks, you can start, you're not going to be at your ultimate goal. You can start noticing definitely how you feel. That's what I typically see. It's a transition. First week sucks. First week to 10 days, you're like, oh my God, my body hurts. What am I doing? That's where, again, working with a good coach, you shouldn't feel like you're going to die. You should ease yourself in. But it's still tough. Your body might be detoxing, you're sore. Then within about 2 to 4 weeks, you've flushed out those toxins, you start to feel really good, like energy goes through the roof. And then, if you're eating well, you're working out, somewhere around, 4 to 6, 8 weeks, like you can see a difference in your body. And then again, 12 to 16 weeks, if you're serious about it, you can have a dramatic difference. All right, I don't see any more questions, and we're 4 minutes over. So I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you got some great value from that. I know I'm like a freaking 100-mile-an-hour freight train fire hose, so I think it's being recorded. You can go back and watch it again. I hope you got the book, where I've got everything in there. Anything I can do to help you guys, just let me know. Reach out. Like I said, I put my email in there. Lars was amazing to connect with. I think I saw him jump on. So you guys got an awesome leader. And I know he's going to be happy when you guys take your energy health to another level, because it's going to help you guys as a company win more, financially, be more energized, and help you win financially as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Russ. This was a fantastic webinar. I am so excited to have you here. And we will definitely be sending out the recording to everybody that registered. We'll post it on social media. We'll include a link to your book. If you want to send me over your slides, we'll include that as well. Thank you again so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Melissa. You guys have a great day.
Have a great day.